go out to Norman, Oklahoma. They have night and day different level of confidence on the offensive side of the football. That's internally speaking. The things you're hearing, the things you're seeing when you talk to people close to Oklahoma football relative to what they were last year. It's not to dunk on Seth Luttrell or dunk on Jackson Arnold, but it's a different level of confidence with what they think they can be. Also, I'd say it feels like the floor is higher, which I've said a couple times on this show, but you just feel like you have a different jumping off point than where you were a year ago. Now, John Mateer gets the Baker Mayfield comparisons a lot, and I've tried my best to not delve too deeply into that. I think actually if you're going to compare situations, he probably is more similar to what Dylan Gabriel was when he got to Oklahoma than what Baker Mayfield was. I digress. But the things you hear at a fall camp with John Mateer, just the way he carries himself and him talking trash to the defense and him being a little bit boisterous and high energy, like, it's hard not to say, oh, yeah, that reminds me of Baker Mayfield. I digress. We'll see what happens there. Jaden Ott is the transfer running back from Cal. Remember, they got him post-spring practice. So he's still getting up to speed. By all accounts, he looks awesome. Sounds like he's been great. The thing that I was told is they are being a little bit cautious with him, which if that's the approach during fall camp with a player that wasn't there during spring practice, if you're still being cautious with him, that tells me a lot about how highly they think of him. Like being cautious with a player during fall camp, if you're reading that over on the message board and it's not an injury thing, it's like, oh, okay, then this dude's going to be really good. They think he's going to be real good, so they want to save him for when the games actually count. The offensive line, still gelling a little bit. Remember last year it was atrocious, and it was probably a similar headline you heard if you were keeping tabs on fall camp during this part of the year season ago. Still gelling, still getting up to speed. Let me be very clear. The situation this year on the offensive line is very different than what the offensive line was a year ago. Like last year, the internal buzz, now we're hearing a year later, is they were having trouble even getting the play started. Like gelling versus getting the play started a year ago, two very different places to be operating from. Also, I say this a lot, but like the John Mateer playmaking ability, I think you have a little bit more room for error on the offensive line with a guy that can get you out of trouble. Don't want to count on it all the time, but they're healthy, they're deeper. If they can gel, okay, we're in a good spot. Defensively, it's interesting. You talk about the defensive line first when you talk to people close to Oklahoma, and I think that's a good sign because remember those Brent Venables defenses at Clemson that were just, forces every single year and won a couple national championships? That was the calling card. Several names mentioned to me when you talk to people close to Oklahoma. R. Mason Thomas, yeah, no duh, he's going to be a stud for you. He's wrecking things. Marvin Jones Jr., who started his career at Georgia, then was at Florida State, now at Oklahoma. It sounds like he's popped a few times and made some trouble for the offensive side of the ball, which you love to hear about your transfer in from Florida State. And then Taylor Wine, not a name that I think a lot of people are familiar with nationally. I was told he may end up starting for Oklahoma on the defensive line. 6'4", 276, hasn't played a whole lot for Oklahoma, but they've been really pleased with him during fall camp, and he's tearing it up right now. Secondary, there's some youth at the corner position, so you're still wait and see a little bit there. But I think when the dust settles on what Oklahoma is right now during fall camp, I like the questions being asked a lot more now than I did a season ago. Because a year ago, I've said this a lot, but I'll just keep driving this point home. You're saying, hey, I hope this comes together. Hey, I hope this works. I hope Luttrell and Jackson Arnold can go. I hope the offensive line works it out. You're saying I hope a lot. I don't think you're hoping quite as much as you are estimating the success level of different parts of the team right now for Oklahoma. Like you're estimating the offense is going to be good. How good? You're estimating the defense is going to be, a strength of your team. Is it going to carry you over Michigan and give Bryce Underwood problems that first road start that he has? Remains to be seen when they come to Norman. But if the question is about the offense and the quarterback and all those things and their ceiling, just me personally, this is not going off intel anymore, I feel real good about John Mateer for all the reasons I've told you. Continuity with the coordinators, skill players are better than people give credit for. I think that the moxie he's bringing to this whole situation, the way he's approaching it, fires me up from an Oklahoma fan. Talking to him at media days, I'm bought in on the it factor. I would not be shocked if Oklahoma, again, backdoors their way somehow into the college football playoff. I'm not picking it right now. I've already given you my 12-team field. Oklahoma is not in it. This is not me pandering to the Oklahoma fan base. This is just me telling you. While I don't have it picked or predicted, and I'm not changing my pick, it would not be the most shocking thing in the world if John Mateer pops how we think he could pop, and Oklahoma's sitting there on Selection Sunday finding their way in the playoff. Just saying. Just saying. But that's the fall camp intel for you.